welcome back to my channel. I got a cute one for us today. I absolutely needed one of these tutorials about maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago. I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know how to find it. So now that I know how to do it, I'm going to make this tutorial for you guys. I hope that you love it. I hope that you enjoy it. And let's get started. Today I'm going to be using this yarn that I purchased a few months ago. I've made some very cute pieces. Now, the hardest part about knitting is knowing how much you're casting on or how much stitches you need to do for your sizing. That has been the hardest part. Okay, so it's 35, right? And when I'm making a sweater or a top, I'll do 35 stitches. The top that I made the other day, I just did about 30, I did about 35. What you want to do is you want to have the top be like, you want this area to be kind of more stretched out than what you're used to, because you kind of just want it to be cool, chill. So you want it to be about there, and I know for me this is about 32 to 35 stitches, so I want to do 35. Now you don't want it to be too long and extend here, because you have to add sleeves that are comfortable, and you don't want it to be like too slouchy. So I'm going to do about 35 stitches, and then on the back part, when we get there, I might do 32 stitches. You want to grab your yarn and make a loop, okay? And then with your crochet hook or whichever knitting tool you're going to be using, you're going to want to make sure that you have that near. And we're just going to cast on, or we're going to chain 35. I say chain if you're using a crochet hook, and I say cast on if you're using the knitting sticks. Okay, so you're going to wrap around the yarn with your finger. So you're just going to grab it, and then you're going to wrap it around your finger, and then you're going to go under here, and you're going to put the yarn on the rod, but you don't want to do it too tight, okay? So it's very loose. So you're going to wrap the yarn around your finger, and you're going to put it on like so. Okay, wrap the yarn around your finger, gonna put it on like so. Okay, so this right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have to get it to 35, 34, and 35. Okay, so there we have my cast on of 35. Okay, so that turned out really well. You can see it moves nice and soft and smooth on the stick. That's what you want. If it's too tight, it's just going to be very tight for the other rows that we're going to be doing. You're going to turn your work over. If you're using sticks, yep, you're going to do the same. If you're using crochet hook, you're just going to start. Maybe I can make a separate video for that, or you guys can just try to follow along but using your own method. But we are trying to do the stitch that I showed you previously in my top, and basically that requires going like one way and then flipping around the work and going back a different way. So you're going to take the yarn and you're going to bring it over here, just like so. You're going to need to go in the loop. You're going to grab this yarn, you're going to wrap it over, and then you're going to bring it back and take it off. Okay, so there was your first loop, or your first one, and then you're going to do that again. You're going to go into the loop, you're going to grab the yarn, you're going to wrap it around, and then you're going to pull right through there. Okay, and you're going to do that again, and we're doing that for the whole row. We're doing the whole row just like this. So you're going in here, you're wrapping the yarn around, and you're pulling through. Okay, and you're doing that again, going through the yarn, wrap around, pull 2, through the yarn, wrap around, pull 2. Once we're done this row, when we turn it around, we do a different stitch, but usually that side goes faster because that's the more common knitting stitch. But this way is definitely the more intricate side, but even for me over the past few weeks, I've grown to really love this side because it's difficult, but it's not too difficult. It's not like I have to bring over one, then duck it under. It's like pretty simple after a while. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is lined up, make sure that these are all at the bottom. You don't want it to be twisted and then get the wrong design going. So then you go in through your hook, wrap around, and go through. And I'll meet you guys once I get to the end of the row. Guys, I have made it to the other stick. So everything was on this stick, and now doing that method, we got it on this side of the knitting stick, which is perfect. We're actually going to be turning it around. So you're going to be turning it just like so. So now that we have that going for us, now this is the part that I was mentioning that gets easier, because this is the regular way that everybody or most people knit. This is the way that, is the easy. Okay, just like so. And then you're going to have your yarn, and you're going to bring that yarn and bring it forward and pull it out. Okay, so we're going to do that again. So you're going to go under the loop, you're going to grab that yarn, you're going to pull it under. There you have it. Okay, and we're going to do it again. Grab that yarn, wrap around, pull it under. And as you can see, and which is also my favorite part, because anybody who has been crocheting for a while, sometimes some projects you just can't. You have no more patience for them. But this, I love knitting because it feels like you do a little, but you get a lot done in a shorter amount of time, which is my fave sometimes. So then I'm going to go into the loop. I'm going to wrap around my knitting hook, and I'm going to pull it through. Okay, and now this is exactly the stitch that I want to see. It's kind of like the braid effect. That's exactly what I want to see in the front. So right now, this is the front of the top. Okay, you're going to do that for the whole row, and basically we're going to be doing this back and forth. So when you're facing the front, you're going to be doing this stitch, which is grabbing it from the back, wrapping it around, and pulling through. Make sure it's still loose. You don't want to do it too tight. All right. Now, I like the top to be about this wide, which is about which is about 3.5 inches. That's how high I kind of want it to go. If it goes 4 inches, that also works out. So why not just say 4 inches, okay? So we need to continue till we get to here, okay? Because we have 4 there until we get to there. So that's not too much to knit or crochet. Just continue doing the stitch, bring it forward, go in the back, bring it forward. So that's basically what I'm gonna do. I'll see you guys once it turns around to the front. Now here I've finished the row. So this is the front. So now we're going to have to turn it around, turn our work around, and this is the back. Now, how to tell what's the back and what's the front? Do you see how these stitches kind of look like rice? They're very tight and very small pieces, right? So I guess I could say this looks like rice for sure. But in the front, you see it has more of the braid effect. So that's how you tell the front from the back. So this is clearly the front. This is the part that I absolutely love. And this is the more tight back, because we're going to start to do this stitch again. So where you go this way, you wrap around, and then you bring it back and pull it out. You go in 2, you wrap it around, you pull through, you go back, okay? this is my therapeutic side. So you want to do this side, wrap around, and bring it back, and do this as well. Okay? Right. And then we're going to do this stitch, wrap around, pull through the back, and so forth. So I'll see you guys back at the front. Just continue doing that. So now I have completed the back row, and now I'm facing back to the front. You can see how much is already done. We're going to make sure that the yarn is at the back, because now we're doing the other side, the front. So that means that we have to go through the back, bring it around to the front, and pull off. Okay? So we're literally just repeating the steps until we get to our, or whichever inches length that you want, but until we get to the 4 inches mark. Good luck, you got this. Go back in the video if you need. I hope I did it slow enough for you guys. And yeah, so I'll see you back at our 4-inch mark. And I have finished all of my rows. This is 4 inches, so as you can see, this is more of the nice braid side, and then on the back we got the like little rice at the back. Okay, so now at this point what we're going to be doing is casting off. Now say you're doing this with a crochet hook, you would literally just cut off the string because you're done the row, and then you would like tie a knot. But because this is knitting, we have to cast off, and what that means is we have to get the rod, and if you use a circular knitting needle, you have to get this part out. And before, I used to just feed the yarn through the loops and then pull it out, but I found, I did find a faster way to do that. So basically you're going to go, and what you're going to do, so you're going to go in through the loop, right, and you're going to wrap it around, do your regular stitch, pull over. You do your regular stitch because now we're facing the back, right? So you're going to go how you would facing the back, wrap around your yarn, go under, pull off, and then now we have 2. So you're going to go under the first one, drag it over just like so. And then now it's casting off again. So I'll get back to you once this is all casted off, okay? Oops. So I have just fully casted off. As you can see, my knitting hook is fully off now. Magic, I know. And I have fully cast off and nothing is coming undone, which is just super magic. And as you can see, it created these like chains at the top, which will make it super easy to attach anything to it. So here is our front of the top. We just completed this part of the top. As you can see, that fits absolutely perfect from one side to the other, and once I add my strap, it'll be perfect. So what I'm going to be doing is, some people have it up here, the top, and then they do the piece of the shoulder there. It can go either way, to be honest. So it can go up there, you can choose to do this and then just add your shoulders underneath there. I have it here. I don't know why. So I have completed my 2 pieces. This is the front or the back, and this is the front or the back. But you need to complete the 2 pieces in order to begin the rest of the top. 3.5 millimeter crochet hook that I'm going to be using to do my chains for my arms around. So you're going to have to measure how much arm you have to cover. And you're going to place the loop on, you're just gonna pull it through lightly. And then you're gonna grab the long part of your string, wrap it around, you're just gonna pull that through. Okay? So now that's just to secure it on. So now you can face it this way, your work from the side, and what I'm going to do is just make this more even so that it'll be even chains for me to go in and out of. So I'm just gonna kind of go like in there, grab, bring it round, wrap around, and pull, and that way I've created a nice chain for me, so when I am attaching the sleeve to this part, it'll be effortless and seamless. So there you can see I have created those nice chains up there. So there's a lot of holes, as you can see. You want to kind of make sure that you're not having too big of gaps, or else you'll just see the gaps that are made when you are finished and wearing it. Now something like this, holes are kind of part of the aesthetic, I would say, but definitely if you want a more cleaner cut and you don't want as many holes, just make sure that what you're grabbing is not leaving too big of a hole. Okay, and then we're just gonna go into the next spot here. And then we're gonna get to the top and finish it off there. Perfect. So now I have made some nice seamless chains on the top there that is going to make it very easy for me to go in with my hook later. Here's the front. What I'm going to be doing is chaining. So I'm going to be going up as many that goes around my shoulder. So I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to go like this. I'm just going to chain 1. It's good to count and write it down because it'll just help for you to have a more for the other side of your shoulder to be similar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. I'm going to stop at 30. So now that's perfect. So now I can add the back of my top, because what's going to happen is this is the front, and then this goes over the shoulder, and then I have to attach the back to it before we can finish off the rest of the sweater. So I'm going to grab the other side of the back of the sweater, and I'm going to be attaching after 30 stitches. So stick that through the chain, wrap it around, and pull through to there. And then now we have the front attached to the back. There, bring it up, wrap around, pull 2, and go into the next, pull 2, and go into this one, pull 2, in there. Now that I have attached those 2, I'm going to be chaining so that I can attach the underarm of the top. So have this over. That is going to be over here. This is going to be like so. And then we have this row to attach it to the bottom here. And that looks pretty well. Okay. So that's kind of how it's going to go. So can you guys see that's like the back that's going to be attached, and then the front is going to be there, and then this whole place we're going to be crocheting so that we can have like a sleeve. Okay, so I did 20 for my underarm and I did 30 for my shoulder curve part, and I like where they are in terms of the height that they are at. Okay, perfect. Now I'm just going to be attaching the underarm string to the front of it. We go in there seamlessly, wrap around our yarn, and pull through. Okay, and then we can kind of pull that through. So now you can see that we have here's the front, we have the shoulder, and then we have the arm. So now we have a spot for my arm to go through, and the front and the back are attached. So this is going to be what we're going to be also doing on the other side. But first do this. So now at this point, you can go with your crochet hook and you can go just one more row around. And once you go around this to make the band a bit stronger, then we can go in with our knitting sticks, or if you want, you can go in with your knitting stick right now. And I believe what you would do is, because I've done it before, you would just put your needle, your stick there. So for example, if you don't have crochet hooks, I'm just going to pull that till it gets over there. You would go like this. You would go through the chains that you just created and follow the same flow of traffic, and you would just put your sticks through there, and then eventually once all of it's on, you'll be able to knit it. But I believe I'm just going to make what I just did a bit stronger. What I did was I made the border stronger on the sleeve part, and then I realized that the crochet hook that I was using, the 3.5mm, is a bit too thin for my knitting needle here. So then I had to grab my other crochet hook, my 6.5mm crochet hook, and I had to go around just once more so that this knitting needle can fit through. So for example, you can see I went around this first row with the 3.5 crochet hook, and then this row I went with the 6.5? The 6.5mm crochet hook. I went in with this so that it's easier for this knitting rod to go in because it was just too tight there. So now what I'm going to be doing, and basically almost the final step in this top, is I'm going to put my knitting needle through the chains so that I'm able to start stitching around and around. So basically, when you have circular knitting needles, right, they have the loop, and you want to start knitting so that the things there are there, and you're knitting this way so that the loop is facing away from you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the needle in such a way so that the two ends are hanging out here and the loop is with everything else in there. So I'm going to start by going in where I last left off, okay, and then I'm going to just start to go into the chains that I had, and by doing that I'm going into one of the chains. So I'm going into the chain and I'm going into the same flow of traffic, right? Like so. So I'm not jumping over there, I'm not going over here and grabbing two, I'm going to the same flow of traffic. So it's like one under, the next one under, the next one under, okay? So I'm going to continue doing that until it gets all the way around in all of the chains around here, and then where it hangs out there on the side. So I'm going to continue doing that. Make sure you don't miss any, and just keep going. Okay, so once I have that done, I'll show you what I'm doing, and then I'll just start knitting the sleeve. Okay, catch you that. I have went through all of the little chains there. Okay. Right. So there we have it, and I'm all ready to start knitting as regular, right? Okay, so now we're back here. So now we want to make the outside go the right way. So I'm pretty sure we then have to bring the yarn this way and start chaining from the inside. So when we go like this, around and pull out, that way we'll be doing it. That's way we'll be doing it the right way. Okay, so then you can see out here is the right chain, and there creates the race part. So I'm just going to continue doing that, going through, wrap around, and pulling out there, making it looser. Okay. And then you can see we fixed it. The right side is out and the right side is inside. So now we just continue doing that all the way around, and then eventually there will be a sleeve or a short sleeve created for the top. So if you want, just continue, keep going, and then once I am done the sleeve, whether I do a short sleeve or a long sleeve, I will show you, and then you would just simply do the exact same thing on the other side of the top. Okay, so I'm just going to continue going there, wrapping around. Okay, so I'll check in when I'm almost done my sleeve. I'll let you guys know how it's going. But just continue this, and then basically this side of the top is done, and then we just have to repeat the same on the other side. Okay, so I'll catch you guys later.